Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good night. This is Pixelia here, and this is Anthem Web Radio. We're here with Sinful Mystic, aka Sinful, new bubble, responsible. He's responsible for everybody who's running around in this crazy purple thing that says Mule. This is the guy behind it, a talented DCL creator, great at community building. You're focused. I see your work, brother, on onboarding new users. Simple Mystics, thanks for being here, brother. How are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited, and yeah.
No, but the pleasure is all mine. Like our our relationship goes way back, and you've been an important part of my the Decentraland process, my part of my crypto journey. It goes way back. Like I told you recently ago. In the early days of baby Pixelia, there was a sinful mystic guiding him through all this craziness in a penguin suit in the Central Land. It was really cool. So, it just makes sense that you're here. I've seen the work you're doing firsthand. I've helped you in any way I can, anytime I can, because I think it's amazing. But I do see what you're doing, and that's mainly why you're here, because this is just, like a homage. Like, I don't know how you say it in
Oh,
English. It's
homage,
just
I believe.
a homage. It's just our way of honoring someone who's been doing a lot for the Central End. So I would like to get the DG community to know you as well, to know who you are, and to understand a little bit more of what you're doing. So before we jump into that, I'd like to start on the beginning. Baby Sinful. What was it like for Baby Sinful? Like, first crypto, how that led to the Central End? What was it like?
So yeah, with Baby Sinful, it was just a matter of I bought like my first Bitcoin in like 2014, 2015, around that time. And then I just like held it all the way until I believe it was like 2017, whenever like the big bull run happened, or now it seems
Mhm.
so small since the last one was so big, but the bull run happened. And I got like more involved into crypto then, and it was kind of like fun to see like the transition of like buying Bitcoin and not having a use for it necessarily, and to like having all these altcoins like pop up within different networks, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, like we get to use our tokens. um but yeah, that's a little bit of history of like how I got into crypto. I bought my first NFT back in February of 2021. It's called 99 Cent Salvation by the Knox. It's still very special to me.
Mhm.
um, and so then, yeah, later that year, 2021, I went over to a friend's house to hang out, chill, and like he like says to me like, "Hey, bro, come over to this room. I'm in a concert on the metaverse." And I was at the time I was like, "Metaverse? What do you mean metaverse?" Like he's like, "Yeah, so right now I'm on Decentraland, and there's this metaverse music festival happening, and Dead Mouse is playing tomorrow, I think." And like instantly I'm like, hold up. I took a moment to collect, and then I was like the information, and then I'm like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home now. and I ran over to, I went home. um I got on my computer, logged into the Decentraland. My first experiences with the Decentraland weren't really like the most luxurious or best looking experiences, because I was one of those individuals that didn't have their hardware accelerator turned on. So my thing was like moving at like 1 frame per second. and,
Present.
and yeah, you can imagine how like frustrating that would be for someone. But I had been someone that, or I have been, I continue to be someone that like I don't know, plays video games that aren't necessarily finished yet. So like to me, like all this was just like part of the process of
Mm.
um of it all. And so yeah, I mean from there, music festival, I bought my Dead Mouse helmet. Everyone still sees me wear that because I just can't take it off. Um
The
and
signature,
hmm?
it's a signature werewolf for you. That and the
Exactly.
mutable. Like if I see the two combined, this is how I recognize you in a crowd. If I see if it has a mouse head and a mute bubble, and it doesn't have a stoic jacket, then it's simple.
Yes.
If not,
Oh
it's stoic.
man. Oh man, you just said Stoic. Big shout out to Stoic, man.
Big shout
I
out to
have lots of
stoic.
love for him.
Yeah.
Um and so there from there I just started hanging out on Decentraland. My first place that I did end up hanging out was like Wonder Mines. And that's for like where I
Mm.
met Peanut Butter, I met Stony Eye, and Kurzos and a few others. Um and, and so then from there I learned from Peanut Butter, like I have to say Peanut Butter might be the reason why I stayed on the Central Land, just because of like the whole like, hey, have you turned on your hardware accelerator? Here's a video I made, and I watched it and it worked. It made the Central Land just like 100 times better for me. Um and yeah, so big shout out to PB. um
PD.
so Yep. So from there, I just started roaming the metaverse. Um, and I used to go to the casino, Tamanoya Casino, and just like sit at the poker tables all alone at the free poker tables and wait for someone to come play with me. I used to like sing songs and all that stuff. And then one day I captured the attention of one of my very, very good friends to this day, Tank Poco. She wanders by and she's like, "What are you doing?" Then says, "People actually come here. Cool. I like playing poker. I want to play." And so then, yeah, like it all like slowly got started there. We were playing some games. Um, Tank Poco clicks on my profile and says, "Hey, I see that you're a streamer. Why aren't you streaming?" And then from there, I was like, why aren't I streaming? A little bit of history of like how I started streaming. 2019, I just decided to take that plunge, start streaming, and 2 years later, like the Decentraland time, we're talking 20 October 2021. I was
Huh.
kind of starting to feel a little down. I was kind of like saying maybe this is not for me.
Mm.
I had like two viewers for like 2 years and not seeing any growth really. Um, and so I was using Decentraland as a way to cope with like, I'm on the internet, but I'm doing something else other than streaming. And and I have to kind of give Tank Poco her love because she kind of like made me rediscover that love for streaming after she like said, "Hey, why aren't you streaming? Like you're a streamer. What's up?"
Why are you not doing your job? Like, why are you standing here alone, not working at the same time? You can do both.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. So
listen, it's hard to get a grasp at the like to the central at the beginning. Like the potential you have inside the central and the things you can do. It takes a while for you to discover all these things if you don't have someone to show you and to guide you. Like
Yep.
like
Exactly.
my experience, you know, I learned all of this a little bit faster, but I had someone to walk me through the process. So I can't imagine how someone who's new and going through this can ask himself this question, like, why am I still here? So
Yep.
shout out to Tampoco for this, for running into you and making you stream because, dude, like the Central End has grown thanks to you. Like
Oh,
this is
I,
something we can see, we can appreciate. The effort you put into onboarding new people to welcome them into our new world. You know, many times I've decided like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing that Sinful does, and I jump into Genesis class, and there you are. How am I supposed to do this if he's always there? Like,
Just gotta join in the fun. Just gotta.
so I joined in on the fun. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
uh,
But kudos to that. Like, when did you decided that that was the role you wanted to play, like community onboarding? Like,
mm,
like how, how did that path started to be shaped? Because I can see where it begins, but it began in a place very different than where it's at right now.
hmm
So
Yes.
like how did you
So
pivot into that? Like how did you navigate it, your way to this?
I mean, the I have to say that I owe a lot to the community. Like this community, I like to even like say like saved my life. Who knows where I would be, like, 2 years later, like in what position I would be, where I would be, uh, if it wasn't for this community. Just being so welcoming and open to, sharing information, getting to know you, hanging out. You can kind of like, it's one of those real recognized real things. Like I can see that I could see it, that everyone in this platform was like real, like they were genuine human beings, or for the most part were. um and with that, it's just like, I don't know, it's just the inspiration from the community made me want to push and be better. All the community support that I had received from like the pretty much like day 3 of me streaming Decentraland, to like now, like it's something that I feel like I still like owe a debt to the community, and to like kind of like how I ended up here. I don't know. I just kind of started doing it. Like I enjoy it. I have fun helping new users, showing them around. Like that's my favorite thing to do on Decentraland. I'm not a creator of any sort. Like I don't create 3D assets or code, but I guess the next best thing I can do is help uplift and showcase those like talented friends that I've made along the way. Like, be seen, help them be seen, help them show off their work, and even to new users, help them get their start.
Yeah, that's look. There's like my grandfather. He's like this bag of wisdom, and he would tell me this: in a soccer team, there's 11 players, and you cannot have 11 strikers on a soccer team. You know, for it to be a team, everybody needs to do something different, and they need to like it. So
Hmm
shout out to you for that because not like look, I'm not a creator myself, you know this, but I also believe that there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of things that we can do as a community to help each other grow, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not a creator, but I am a creative person. I also have a bunch of skills and I have the will to help the community. And there's a way we can just like we all combine each other, we get together and like pardon my French, we get shit done at a whole different level. Like that's personally what I love the most about the Central and the community. You know, what you it shows you that you don't really need to be there to be there. You don't really need to physically be there to get things done. If there's mutual respect and trust, like you can get a lot of things accomplished, even if you're in opposite sides of the world. You know, just
Yep.
just like right now, you're in a like in a different time zone, time like country, region, continent, you know, and here we are. It's just coordination, collaboration at its purest. So
Getting shit done.
getting shit done. Yeah. Now, simple. Talk to me about Sinful Media, about your community building space with Canessa. And I'm asking you about this because I personally believe that this this Twitter space has been like a game changer Twitter space for the Central End. I've personally been there many times. I've I've been a speaker many times. I've been a listener many times, and every time I see someone new coming on board, asking me questions, and then later on in the week I see that person joining the Central End. So, like, how did this happen? Like, when did you guys decided to do this? How was the concept transformed into a reality?
Okay, so for the first part, like Simple Media has basically been kind of like the umbrella that I'm trying to use to kind of separate myself, Simple Meat Stick, with whatever else. It's still a work in progress. I'm not the business guy, but for now, it's pretty much I'm using it to advertise my friends. I'm sure you've noticed on my stream, like across the top, you'll see like logos and stuff. Those are community member logos and stuff like that like have supported me or are supporting me, and kind of like just I guess in a way I'm trying to build a proof of concept for who knows, maybe advertising, who knows, marketing. We'll see what the future brings.
Right.
um
Very good.
so
So basically, Sinful Media, let's say, is um, it's the way Simple Mystics, um, let's say, go to work in the metaverse.
yes, exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fucking dope. Okay,
Yeah.
that's really cool. And so there's that, and
Hmm.
then there's the community building space, Twitter space thing with Canessa they have going on,
Yep.
and which later on would evolve. I may be fuzzy on the details here because I was not necessarily involved in the creation of this, but I was like a viewer or a bystander, which then later evolved into CBD,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So, why
so
don't you
so
talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. With CBD, it was actually like another one of those things. It seems like I know you asked me earlier about like the question like what made me decide that I wanted to go the community building route. Um, I guess like to what answers both of them is like I've never really like decided to go that route. It just like happened because that's where like life took me. Like it just happened spontaneous. Um and I kind of like that's seems to be like the way that I like seem to like do things. I just do them spontaneously out of nowhere. Um, so like with the community building Decentraland Twitter space, it was like a weird time. Like there was like some like weird proposals in the DAO. There was like it felt like there was like some community, like the community was being torn apart through like a series of DAO proposals and stuff like that. Um, and like I personally wanted to give like community members a space to talk to I wanted to understand what was going on, like um like what were the different opinions and thoughts and all that. um and of course I wanted all these opinions and thoughts to be heard as well, because sometimes back in those days, it felt like in the DAO, like if you didn't have much of a voice. If you didn't have that 100K VP, you don't have a voice really. No one's understanding where you're coming from. And also like, sometimes texting does get a little weird and you misunderstand, but it's so like I feel like, the coming up on voice is also a better form of communicating your thoughts and ideas. So I had I had known Canessa for a little bit. Like I hung out in her balloon and stuff, and but I didn't like really know Canessa. Like we only chatted in passing, but I don't know. I felt like I wanted to work with her. And so I reached out to her, and of course, like, she's like, "Oh, I don't know," and then like ghosted me, like, I didn't I didn't hear from her for a while. And then I don't know what had happened. I think like Dino got her to speak on somewhere, and then like I like messaged her. I'm like, "You were great. Have you considered our idea?" And she was still a little like back, like maybe I don't know about it, but then like I don't know, she took the step forward and she said,
Yeah,
"Let's do
man. It took the
it."
leap of faith as well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
so.
what's that?
And that was like what, like a year ago, more or less.
Actually, yes. When we were having these conversations, we can say it like was a year because we're in May. The CBD 1 year anniversary is on the 25th of May, so in a couple
Okay.
weeks.
In a couple weeks.
Um, so we like started like planning. What did we want to do? We wanted to make a community space that is not just about us. It's not We're not chilling our projects or not chilling like us. We want everyone to come and feel included if they wanted to. Like if they wanted to have the voice. I understand that speaking sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Like yeah, I get it. I get it. Like 100%.
It just is.
So then like we expected like maybe just turning on the space, talking about what was going on Decentraland, and if no one came, we were just gonna talk to each other for an hour, and that's it. And then before we knew it, we had a full Twitter space with people, and everyone wanted to like was requesting to come up and speak, and it was just like a really incredible moment. Like I just like couldn't believe the support that was the overwhelming support that was happening there. At the time, there were already two Twitter spaces. Like there was the Beavers Bonfire,
Yeah.
and then there was the Twitter space that Lastrum used to do, which if you're listening, I know I've told you this, but you need to start those Twitter spaces again. Those were like alpha Twitter spaces where like all the like great minds used to like come together and talk to the normies like us. um
Now it's
so
called the last light, bro.
mhm.
Now that space is called the last light collective.
Yeah, yeah, right. I
Yeah,
mean, last place
platform
is doing great.
should go back to those spaces. I agree with you. Simple.
And kind of like, so we saw the Beavers bonfires as like somewhere to hang out and unwind, like later on a Thursday night, and be with community members. I saw last stream as like kind of like the technical Twitter space that would show people like if they needed to deploy, like where to go, where to get help, um, and answer questions about bugs and stuff like that. And then like for us, we just wanted to give a voice to people. The people that felt like they like were feeling down because they felt like no one was listening to them. We just wanted to give them an opportunity to be heard. And that's how the CBD Twitter spaces started. Then later on, like through that first Twitter space, the very first Twitter space, we were all getting amped up. We wanted to do stuff together, work on projects. That's how the idea of the Wondermine screen, welcome screen, came up, which is currently deployed at Angzar. And I believe Oddjob may be working on some other spots to get it deployed to. Um, and so then we like all made like a group chat, and then like we thought we could put in as many people as we wanted in a group chat, and then like
It
no,
was, it
we
was the first Fappo session.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're fucking around and finding out. Sorry about the French.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's all friendship. As long as it's French, is good, bro.
um, and we got limited at 10 users on the DM. So then we're like, okay, let's get into a server and invite all our friends. And it was just like one of those incredible, humbling moments where like you just like put the information out there, and then all of a sudden, before I knew it, like right before my eyes, I watched like so many people just join like together, and like it wouldn't stop for like 2-3 hours, like just like getting notification after notification of people joining. And in yeah, that was
We
just like,
like what you do, bro. That's just how it is. We
huh?
like what you're doing.
I love I love what I
That's
do. I
why we
love
joined. You know, we like what's
uh
being done. Like we appreciate all the effort you guys put in into the community because that's like for real. Like not if you take a like close look at the Central End as a whole, there's not a lot of people focused on working on the community. Like there's a lot of people working inside the Central End, yes, but not all of them are focused on getting new community members to jump in,
mhm,
which ironically would mean the world for the rest of creators inside the Central End. But it's something that is just unattended. That's also why I told you this. I think once, like what you're doing. I don't need to come up with a project. I just need to do what you're doing in Spanish.
mhm.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's it. It's
A-
that simple. It's that simple.
Yep, and that's why I love seeing, like, projects pop up like DCL Brazil, DCL Argentina, like, I love these, like, projects popping up, and I hope that, like, we could work together and find ways to, like, help each other. I would like to see, like, DCL Japan, which I do know that, our friend Kenji is, like, kind of, like,
Kenji
working hard
working
to
on.
get that community together, and I always give him his flowers whenever I can, and I respect any individual that's like, taking time like outside of their personal own projects that they want to build to kind of like help the ecosystem overall.
Mm. Yeah, and it's very hard. Okay, after we're done, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, but it is very hard to create a project like this, to create a community uh, whose purpose or which purpose is only to help grow another community. Does it make sense? Like I need
Mhm.
a community to help me grow a community. Are you down? Like it's hard. It's hard to get people aligned, but it can be done. And I also give a shout out to those who are currently doing it because
Mhm.
it is tough work.
Yes, and like what you just mentioned, it like takes a community to grow a community. I just want to like even like if any community leaders out there like kind of like are trying to make the community grow as a whole, like think about coming supporting other creators as a pack. Like get a couple friends together. If it's a Twitch stream, jump in there, say hello all together, like make sure like they see you and they notice that when you come by, you're not just coming by alone. You're bringing some people, and that kind of like helps other people on the outside kind of like want to wonder what our community is all about.
Yeah, like this is a concept I've discussed many times with many people, and it's the community behind the individual, right? It it may come as an individual filled with friends, or it may come as a new artist who just onboarded DCL and has a 10,000 follower community. And just by treating this one person as you're supposed, you will create a like a let's call it like a referral experience for, for the central, where you get to tell your friends what's going on. So that's why I think, look, I've been in other metaverses. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good. I just personally, most of them don't like them because of the concept involved around them. I like the Decentraland because the Decentraland is the only one that combines in a perfect way, at least for me, in a perfect balance, gaming, social, and just chilling around, not doing anything experience.
Hmm.
Like you can literally just stand flying there to watch
Yep.
people go by, and it's cool. So for me, it has the perfect combination. It allows you to be AFK if you need to. Like I play poker, a lot of poker, but on my breaks. So it's cool to have the central games, for instance. I play poker 20 minutes, stand up from the table, come back in an hour, play a little bit more, and then hopefully by the end of the day, that 1.5 is there. So it combines it perfectly, um, which I think it's what's up for me. Like, for you, what is it?
Hmm. Like, are you referring kind of like how I spend my time, or?
No, like the potential of the central end in terms
Oh,
of, of of what to do. Like what was it that made you decide like, hey, I'm gonna stay here in the central end? What was it like
uh,
the creative potential, the community? Like I know the community is very important to you. Like
mm-hmm.
as a user, what was it that did you say like, fuck, I need to be here right now? Like you told me, I run home, and I was just thinking like, fuck, if you run home that day to see what was up, like I want to know what was it that catch his attention. What
Well,
was it?
well, like on that day, it was basically because Decentraland is the first metaverse, or the first Web3 like metaverse platform on a blockchain. So like that fascinated me because like finally something that I could use my crypto in, like a use case for our crypto. That was that's basically like what like made me run home that day, that fateful day.
Like,
Um
I get to
but
use
the
my crypto today, bitches.
Yeah, I can use it. I can use it. and
Oh,
and then like today, like what's kept me here is the community, is the people around me that that support everything that is going on, that are like-minded, that have supported me like through the time. Like I've had my bad times, and there, this community was here for me. That's why I strive, like that's why I do so much. It's my way of paying it back in a way.
I'm glad to hear that. Look, I'm gonna do a parenthesis because like we're almost out of time, but I want to do a parenthesis because I want to ask you and make it clear, just because there's a lot of people who don't know about this specific character in the Central End, which is Art. Art, shout out to him. It, he's like, for me, he has been a master in the crypto world and in the Central End, and I think for you as well, and for many of us, he has been the teacher behind the concepts, many of the concepts that we've later on grown fond of, you know. So like I know PFC community was important to you, but like aren't you PFC, like were they key pieces to bring you here? Just like myself, like just in my case.
Most definitely, I will have to say the Penguin Fight Club like played a big role in like who I am today. Yeah, let's give some a big shout out to Sensei Artreyu. That is Sensei. That is Sensei to
Sensei,
I'm seeing to you,
master.
Sensei to Tenpoko, Sensei of mine. Like that man has done like so much that like I don't know. I feel like I can never pay back what he's done like for me.
I know
Um
exactly what you mean, Mod.
yeah, that
This
like that man. I
was a wink. Look.
I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah,
Uh
shout out to him.
and so then yeah, I mean through PFC that was like kind of I learned so much through PFC. And because of Art is number one holder of PFC Penguin Fight Club NFTs. Like before Art, I did not buy any PFP projects because I don't believe in PFP projects personally. But Art was the first person to kind of like show me why this picture of a monkey is worth so much, because like Art was the first person to show me like what community is, in a sense. Um, Kind of like the together we're stronger, like if you have a community of people, like you mentioned earlier in this interview, it's like we need a team. One's the coder, one's the modeler, we can't all just do it ourselves. So through PFC, they taught me a lot. I used to sit in voice chats for like days on days, just learning and absorbing information. Um, of course, being silly as well. Pixelia, you were there. We
I
got
was there as
silly.
well.
We got serious. There were tears, there were laughter, there was all kinds of things. Like it's like it was a family in there.
Yeah.
Um, through the Penguin Fight Club, which is like such an honor to me. Like still like because knowing what he's doing nowadays, like SRJH through Penguin Fight Club, I watched him like literally the day that he like
Bro.
installed Blender,
Yeah, we saw it. Like that. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
And
so
you know about this. I told you about this. Like Penguin Fight Club for me is the source of friendship, like life lasting friendship.
mhm,
Not just internet people hanging around, like real friends. Like
exactly.
I would get a call from him or from them or from her, to ask me how I'm doing. Like, hey, dude, are you good? It's been a couple of days since I heard from you. You
Mhm,
know, it's like what the fuck. Not even my
yep,
mom is calling me. What is this? What is this
yeah,
sort of love?
it
It's
it
it's a good
it's a
experience.
family.
Yeah, it is. So
So,
simple. You were telling me so. Like Josh, what other example? Like what else did you have in mind? We're gonna mention someone.
let's see, Chainlink Baby, like Chainlink Baby has I watched him like, start just with downloading Blender and then just messing around. Um, there were a lot of other individuals. I mean, such as yourself. You were there, like baby Pixelia.
I was there.
Now I'm on your show.
Yeah, this baby Pixelia was there.
Man, like this is incredible.
Yeah,
How our beginnings kind of like seeing our beginnings and kind of like seeing where we are now. It's
it's only been
I'm
2 years.
bullish.
So
Hmm?
it's only been 2 years. Like,
Yeah, right.
you're aware of like it's like I say, crypto time is like a month in crypto is like a year in human life. You stay out of Decentraland for 5 days and you come back and you don't know anybody. You don't know what's going on. Maybe they'll have a new layout. It's like 1,000 new werewolves that you missed, 1,000 events. It's like it's like whoa, it's like the new streets, new builds. It's crazy. It's
Yep, yep.
too fast.
A-
So
And
simple. Um, Go for it. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Uh, oh no, no, no. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I learned a lot from Penguin Fight Club, from mainly Sensei Art. Like, if any of you see him out there, like, tell him Simple says hi. And yeah, like much love to everyone in that community.
Cool. Yo, and look, last but not least, right now we're, Stronghold, the central games house and headquarters, main office for many of us ice degens out there. But this place is special because it also holds a lot of new users, a lot of first timers, a lot of first people that are first joining just to play poker. So
Hmm.
for these newcomers, new users, first timers, since this is what you do, what would you advise them to enhance their first time experience if they already didn't bump into you in Genesis Plaza to guide them into the casino? What else can they do? Like, what would you advise?
Yeah, well, I'll start with saying, like, yeah, what DG has done with like onboarding is like incredible, because it's mainly, I see it as onboarding retention. There have been countless new users that I have met at Genesis Plaza, and the first thing like they ask me, it's like, what do you do here? I say, you can play poker, you can do this, you can do that, and instantly they say poker. So then from there, I get them delegated and send them over to to Stronghold, and like those have been individuals that like I have stayed. I've seen, I still see many of those people, and it makes me happy. Um, Now, like as far as like any other new user, or like trying to like get out of the casino and explore the world, maybe even like build something, like my first thing that I have to say, be a student of the space. Like, feel free to explore, ask questions, ask as many questions as you can. Like, if you find me, like I will answer them all. Um and be yourself, be authentic, and meet as many people as you can, because the metaverse is a better place when you're with friends.
That's what Tangpoco says.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what she said, literally.
Hey, we're students of the same sensei, so
Yeah, all roads lead like straight back to Rome type of situation. Simple. Bro, it's been an amazing pleasure having you around, keeping you here with us in Stronghold, the Central Games, venue and house. It's amazing. Like, I know that you're a holder yourself, that you play poker yourself, so I know you like this place a lot. But I wanna take the moment to thank you for everything you do for the Central Games community, for the DTL community, and for the Web3 space in general. Because in the end, uh, you try to reach as many users as you can with this message of Web3 inclusion, which is amazing. I really appreciate you for that, and thank you for being here today, bro.
thank you for having me on the show. And the last final thing I would say is, like, we're all in this together. This is like an effort by all of us, and it's just like an honor for me to be a part of it, just a small part of like everything that we are all trying to accomplish here in Web3 and on Decentraland. And I look forward to keep keep working hard, keep building and providing new content, and inviting more people to our space.
Powerful words, Simple. Powerful words. It's been a pleasure, brother. Stay safe.